Alright, you guys, do me a big favor, man. Before you get into this video, if you haven't already, man, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. All the links will be down in the description. And if you wasn't notified on this from my previous videos, I also have a PayPal just in case you guys want to donate. Whatever the amount is, it don't matter. It could be 50 cents. You know what I mean? If you want to donate that, make sure you show me some love on that. PayPal link will be in the description as well. All my links for everything is in the description, man. Make sure y'all show that some love. Let's get into this video. What's poppin', Rob Television? Welcome back to another reaction video with your boy. As you can see by the title, man, yes, I'm back with another Larry Legend reaction video. Now, by the title of this video, you can see is how Larry Bird humiliated NBA teams. Now, he humiliated, several NBA teams. So it's like, I'm guessing this is gonna be a compilation of more than one, because I just can't see which team singly that they will just single out in this video, because there's been so many of them, man. Because if that's the case, you have to make a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, etc, etc, etc. But man, I'm excited to get into this video, man. But before we get into this video, man, let's do like we always do, man. Make sure you smash that thumbs up video. I said thumbs up video. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, like I said, there's 90% of you guys who are watching my videos and who are not yet subscribed, man. Make sure you do me a big favor, man. It literally takes like 10 seconds, man. Subscribe. When you subscribe, click that post notification button, notify on all things Rob Television. Let's check it out.
Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to my show. I'm Sean David. Let's talk some old school Larry Bird.
What's up, Sean?
Now we all know that Larry Bird is probably considered the best trash talker in NBA history, and especially when it comes to Larry Bird and individuals, we probably know basically all the stories. But in this episode, I want to focus more on stories where Larry Bird is trash talking and embarrassing entire teams. But before we get to that point, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thanks a lot, you guys, for supporting the show. It's really appreciated. And I would say enough said, let's get right into today's episode.
I'll never forget, everything just started to win in slow motion.
Who would win a three-point shooting contest, Larry Bird or Reggie Miller?
I would win hands down.
I still love when he says to Xavier McDaniel, X, I'm going to get the ball right here, and I'm going to take a jumper right in the face. I'm going to make it. And then he gets the ball, takes the shot right in front of Xavier McDaniel, and makes the shot.
Who was the best player you played against?
The best guy I played against might have been, Larry Bird.
Now, the first story that I want to talk about involves Larry Bird and coaching legend Frank Layden. If you don't know Frank, he's a coaching legend for the Utah Jazz and is widely considered to be one of the funniest guys who ever coached in the NBA. The story right here goes a little something like this. Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics were facing Frank Layden and his team, the Utah Jazz. Larry Bird had a hot night as usual, and again he got a little bit bored, as he did pretty often when he felt that nobody was trying to stop him. So Bird kept shooting and every ball was going in. So he runs by the bench of the Utah Jazz and goes, "That's the heat check, folks." Then he talks to Utah's coach Frank Layden and says to him, "Hey Frank, haven't you got anyone on the bench who can guard me? Because nobody out here can." So Frank looks down the bench and goes, "No." Typical Frank Layden, typical Larry Bird.
The fact that he responded, most coaches would have just been like, you know what, man, I ain't finna pay attention to that. The fact that he actually responded to this, man, no, that's hilarious, bro.
Larry Bird. The next story that I want to talk about goes back to the year 1987, so when Washington was still the Washington Bullets. It is the 7th of November in 1987, and Larry Bird's buzzer beater against the Washington Bullets in double overtime would be a part of NBA history. With only 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Larry Bird hit a three-pointer that was waived by the refs because Celtics coach Casey Jones had signaled for a timeout before Danny Ainge raced down the court and kicked the ball to Bird. After a few seconds, when Bird realized what happened, he told some of the Washington Bullets players, "I can do it again, so don't worry." End of quote. Now let's have a look at the full sequence.
All right, Ainge is going to put the ball into play. And where do we go? It's going to go to Bird. He's got a shot. Get it! And it's got it. A 3-point
If we talk about the greatest rivalries of all time, we have to talk about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And this story actually goes back to the time when Magic and Bird became friends. Magic Johnson was injured in one game between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers, but that still didn't stop Larry Bird from going over to him and have a quick word. "I've got a pulled hamstring, so I'm not going to play today," Magic said. Bird, on the other hand, looked over and said, "Man, I'm so sorry that you're not playing. But I tell you what, since you're here anyway, I will put on a show for you, so just sit back and relax." Magic didn't find that too funny and said, "Get out of my face." He even warned his teammates that Larry was about to...
Hey, think of Magic face too. Magic ain't like that, man. First, they gonna put on the show. I can picture it too. You already mad that you can't play it, and he coming to tell us something. Yeah, I'm finna put on the show. You just like, man, get out of my face, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man.
to drop buckets. But
that's hilarious, bro.
After every made bucket, Bird looked over to Magic and the Lakers bench.
Can do it. The Lakers can do it right here. They're being run back on because their shots are being missed long.
And what LA tries to do with the weak side forward right now, the man away from the ball, that would be Kevin McHale, who's just come in the game.
The next story that I want to feature is actually one of the more lesser known stories. But again, it involves Larry Bird and the Phoenix Suns back in the 1980s.
I remember in particular one where I had to make a pass in from Phoenix, and the Suns crowd was going wild.
Max looking, loops it to Bird, a runner. It's good!
As soon as Larry let it go, he virtually turns to the bench and he's looking over like, "You should have had more than one guy on me." You could have heard the mouse pee on cotton in that building. It got that quiet all of a sudden.
Finally, we get to one of my favorite stories that involve Larry Bird. It is the Atlanta Hawks and Larry Bird, and I think all of you guys know that story. But
yeah, obviously, I think that's like the most iconic Larry Bird story, the Atlanta Hawks. And it's crazy because I've heard this story at least 2-3 times maybe at the most, and finna hear it again, and it's finna be just as interesting as it was when I heard it the first time.
But we have to put that right in perspective.
But when you played against somebody, do you remember? Well, you had the Bird night.
I had the Bird night. Yeah, that was a tough night, man. The biggest argument that night is, well, you only scored 6 on me.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
Yeah, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, and Bird talked a lot of trash.
And that's in New Orleans.
That's in New Orleans. In that game, we're on the free throw line, and he literally says, left side over across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
Bird on the drive, the runner is good again. You're seeing a greater performance as you'll ever see off to this Hawk team. Here's Bird flashing underneath, a good pass by McHale. Bird, 14 seconds, he got fouled. He hit the shot. They're not going to
look at the bench, man.
And Bird falls into Joe O'Toole. They're not going to count it. I think it's the greatest shooting exhibition I've ever seen.
If you ain't seen this, if you haven't seen this clip before, check out the bench, bro. Check out the bench. That's the most. Besides the incredible shot, the shot was amazing. You can't. We gonna get that established. But besides that shot, that is the most funniest thing about this whole scene is the bench, man. They went crazy watching Bird, bro.
Larry Bird.
Watch him.
What more can you say? Larry Bird.
Well, they didn't really show it, but you can see it in like the first clip.
Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think.
And Eddie Johnson for celebrating.
Celebrating Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was the greatest film session ever because back then you didn't have, you watched the real game and just went, with a video. And Mike rewound the celebration 20 times. He just kept, not the shot, he just kept rewinding it. Showing the guys, you remember they're giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah, that was Eddie Johnson.
For the next story, I want Kevin McHale to tell it because he was actually there, and I think it's one of his favorite stories of Larry Bird and the legendary Told You So story.
Well, probably my favorite one was we were playing in Phoenix, and we were way up. We were like 15, and we have the worst fourth quarter in the history. We're terrible, and Larry's bad. Larry's missing shots, throwing it to the other team. back, and somehow, they go up 2. So we have a play, out-of-bounds play. I'm taking it out, and Larry says, I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3. And I'm like, we're down 2. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, let's shoot a 2, please. Go to the hole, try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game. And Larry says, no, I'm just going to bust a 3 on him. I'm like, oh, my gosh. So he tells the Phoenix bench, tells the coaches, yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this. And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball at the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so, and stops running to the locker room. And
hearing some of these stories, man, it's just like you almost don't believe them. But just because it's Bird, you know that it's real. Like, it's just some of these stories, like for him to even say, we down by 2. I'm going to come hit this 3 after having a piss poor fourth quarter as far as shooting, and you still got that faith that, all right, game on the line. Even though I missed these shots, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to win the game. And then to look back at the other team and say, I told you so, whatever he just said, he said, like, that is insane. I'm saying, like, hearing these stories, man, I just know that it was even crazier to be there in person, because hearing these stories, man, it's just like, it sounds damn near impossible, bro.
And it went in, and I just started laughing. I was like, oh, man.
Now for the last story, I'm pretty sure everybody knows it, but I just had to put it on my list, and we have to put it into the right perspective. Just imagine in today's NBA, a player would announce that he would play the entire next game with his offhand and still would put up a performance for the ages. I think that's impossible. And one of the craziest stories that ever happens in the NBA, the Larry Bird left-handed game.
By the way, let me know what's y'all favorite Larry Bird story in the comment. I think the left hand one is I think that's pretty exciting. I think as of right now, and that's probably going to change because I'm pretty sure I'm going to find more and more Bird stories. But as of right now, I think the left hand one kind of is I think that might be my favorite Bird story. Next to that Phoenix Suns, that was crazy too, man.
He said, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip. I'm going to play this one left-handed.
So when you look at Bird against Kersey. Oh, what a basketball player has to do most of the scoring. They got a mismatch. Oh, look at that. And find Bird. Misses the first chance. And then Jackson. Rebounding. Well, Bird's still down there. There's nothing you can do about that.
All right, you guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Also like the video because apparently that would help my channel to grow. Also, if you want to hear podcasts with me and former NBA legends, check out the Basketball Time Machine on Spotify and on iTunes. And for old school black music, so 80s, 70s, 90s and early 2000s, please check out my radio station, the Jam Time Machine Radio. It's on www.jamtimemachine.com. All right, enough said. You all be safe. See you next time.
This show is brought to you by Jam
Yes,
Time
sir.
Machine Radio.
By the way, man, make sure that if you watching this video and you haven't already, man, subscribe to Sean David, man, because he's providing a lot of content for me to get out there to entertain you guys. So, man, make sure y'all show them some love. But that is it for the video, man. If you did enjoy this video, man, make sure you do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. I just find that it helps grow my channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. Click that post notification bell to be notified on all things Rob Television. Once again, disclaimer, man, I'm trying to get my social medias popping. I'm trying to grow my social medias. So make sure, go to the links in the description. Click those links, man. Follow me on those social medias. Also, and if you don't want to click the links for some odd reason, you want to make your life even more difficult, man, on the next screen over, they're going to have all my social media handles on there. So, I mean, it's either hit or miss, whether you want to hand type them or you want to click the link. I advise you to click the link, man. This is the new age. Technology is beautiful for those things right there. So, man, click them links, man. Follow me on all my social medias. I'll see y'all in this video. I'm out this thing. Gang.